Hey YouTube, your power just went out. All your pumps have stopped pumping, your lights are out, bubblers have stopped. What do? Stay tuned. A lot of my friends, a lot of my fans in Florida and in Texas are going through a bit of a rough patch. Some of them have had complete loss, complete devastation. Some of them have lost their homes. Certainly a lot of them have lost tanks and all their stock. We've certainly seen some pictures floating around on Facebook. And so I thought I'd put together some of the best tips that I've come across from folks that were able to weather it and survive it. And these are some tips that maybe you can use, maybe they can help you. And I'll just go over them one at a time, and hopefully you'll find them useful. The first thing I suggest you do is you pick up some battery powered bubblers. Now, certainly in an ideal world, you'd have a backup generator. That is going to be the plan that I'm going to put into effect. I'm going to be picking one up probably within the next 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. And it's going to be a type that can be rolled into position and then plugged in when needed. There are some higher end types that can sense when the power is out and kick in automatically. Those, of course, are the best. Now you're getting into a lot of high cost. And some of us that can't afford that or that are in a situation like an apartment complex where things like that are just not practical, they need another solution. So certainly the first thing I would suggest, go out and pick up these battery powered bubblers. You can see a picture of them here. You can pick them up on eBay. You can pick them up on Amazon. Shop around. I'm not sure if any are really that much better than any other. I haven't done a side-by-side test, so I can't tell you for sure. But I will tell you this. I would suggest you pick up, and they're fairly inexpensive, so this is not out of the question. I suggest you pick up about one for every 30 gallons. One for every 30 gallons. So I would put, I would put about four of them on this 135 that I have behind me. I would put one on my 30-gallon grow out and two on my 60, and just to create enough bubbles. Now, be sure you have plenty of batteries on stock, at hand, and you should probably have like an emergency kit that contains lots of batteries and a fair number of these bubblers. Now, I'm going to suggest one additional step that maybe you've heard before, maybe you haven't. But pick up a bubbler for each of your filters. What does that mean? That means that I want you to put an air stone in each of your HOBs, in each of your canisters. Okay? Put a bubbler in there and create water circulation in your filters. That way, the bacteria that is in there can continue to get the oxygen that it needs to survive. All right? So certainly provide the tanks with water movement and oxygen, and also do the same with your filters. Now, let's say that you are caught off guard, you don't have these on you, or the batteries are dead. Another tip that I heard that is very good is simply siphon water from the tank into a bucket and then return that water to the tank. You can also do that with canisters and HOBs. You can pour water out, pour water in. What this does is it'll create agitation, it'll create surface tension breakup, and the release of bad gases, and it will allow oxygen to come into the water. So exchanging water in and out can help. So having a bucket, I've heard of people even stirring their tanks to create agitation, but certainly just simply pouring some water out in a bucket and then pouring it back in maybe every half hour or so should create enough movement, enough surface breakup to allow gases to escape, the carbon gases to escape, and allow oxygen to enter into the tank and keep those fish alive. Okay, so of course there's another technique that I talked about in an earlier video, and I'll post that link below, where you can actually use a sort of like a peroxide and a potato and a plastic bottle and some tubing, and you can actually create pure oxygen. And that was a pretty interesting experiment, and I will post the link for that video below. And it's very simple, punching a hole into the top of a plastic water bottle, some tubing, and a couple of other items, and you can actually produce oxygen and bubbles and create a bubbler without even needing batteries. But there you have it. Just to recap it and do it while we look at the fish. Let's do that. The fish are a lot prettier to look at than I am. So let's take a look at the fish and recap what I've got here. Number one, ideally have a backup generator. A backup generator that you can put online that can keep your tanks running. If that is not available, then have battery powered bubblers. Have enough bubblers, one bubbler for every 30 gallons of tank. That is my opinion. One bubbler for every 30 gallons of tank. Also, have one bubbler for every filter. One bubbler for every filter. Put that air stone inside the canister, inside the HOB. Keep that water moving, and keep oxygen, and keep that bacteria alive. Next, let's say you don't have those, or let's say your batteries have run out. Empty water into a bucket and pour the bucket back into the tank. You can also pour water out of your filters and back into the filters, creating agitation and oxygen. That is the key. Don't let your bacteria get oxygen starved and then die off, and then you'll end up with a tank having to restart the cycle process. Okay? Also, you can do a little magic with some hydrogen peroxide and a potato. You can see the link to that video below. It's pretty interesting. All right? I hope this helps, and my thoughts and prayers to all my friends in Texas and Florida who have had to deal with something no fish keeper wants to deal with. But let's be prepared, okay? All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're very appreciated. You know that. I hope you found that helpful, and but mostly I hope you never have to use it, because I wouldn't wish that on any fish keeper. But there you have it. I hope you found the information of some use. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to visit my friend Evan over at hashtag Hapnation, and come on by the Facebook group page. You can see it up here. That's BEN.O.CICHLID on Facebook. And also come on by and follow on Instagram at BEN.O.CICHLID on Instagram, where I'm constantly posting pictures and updates. Okay, here it is up here. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.